Hello ladies, gentlemen, and persons in between. My name is Tim Snowborn, and today we're going to be taking a little philosophy quiz on this episode of Somewhat Serious Issues. So, remember a while back when I had that idea video and I was talking about how great it would be if there was an app or a website that you could take a quiz and find out what kind of philosopher you are? Well, it turns out there is. Kind of. Found this philosophy quiz on Quizoni, I guess, and apparently it tells you what kind of philosopher you are. I don't think that it lists all the different philosophies that you agree with or gives you any reading recommendations, but it's going to tell me what kind of philosopher I am, and that'll be fun to find out. I want to hear your answers to these questions and what kind of philosopher you are. If you want to take this quiz, it's, as you can see there at the top, it's Quizoni. So let's dive in. What do you dream of? I dream of equality. I dream of progress. I dream of equality, progress, and freedom. I dream of moderation in society. I dream of morality in society. I don't dream, I think. Well, I am a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I would go with equality, progress, and freedom. I mean, as long as you have the option of picking all three of those things, why would you not? Moderation in society. I mean, moderation is good. Moderation is important. You don't want to go to excess, but less important than equality, progress, and freedom. Morality, I suppose, is important. It's just a question of whose morality it is. And I do think, but I also dream. What positive characteristic would you say is most like you? Enthusiastic, adaptable, loyal, logical, organized, or decisive? Enthusiastic, I mean, yeah, kind of about some things, I guess. Adaptable, I would go with adaptable. I'm the kind of person, I think that, like, if you plucked me out of this universe and put me into another universe or on an alien world somewhere, I mean, I'd ooh and ah for a few days, but I think I'd get used to it quicker than most people. I am all of these things to a degree, but I would go with adaptable as the one that is most like me. Hey, look who's decided to join me. What negative characteristic would you say is most like you? I'm emotionally needy, I'm critical, I'm cold-hearted, I'm withdrawn, I'm nosy, I'm overbearing. I don't have any negative traits. I'm going to go with emotionally needy. I mean, that's the closest one. I'm not even sure if I'd go that far in describing myself, but that's the closest one at least. Hey. Where are you most likely to meet a new partner? Most likely to meet them at work. I'm most likely to meet them at a political protest. I'm most likely to meet them by online dating. I'm most likely to be introduced through family or friends. I can meet them anywhere. People are drawn to me. I am not looking for a new partner. Well, work, I doubt it. I kind of skip around a lot. I mean, in the same job. I don't switch from job to job. I stay in the same job, but in a variety of places. I'd most likely meet them at a political protest. That's a possibility. Online dating seems like the most likely answer. I mean, that has not borne fruit for me yet, ever, but it seems like the most likely scenario. I'm not going to meet a mate through family, that's for sure. Friends, maybe, yeah. Actually, friends might be the most likely, but I'm still going to go with online dating. What do you think is the most important to feel successful? Happiness, money, neither is important, both are equally important. Well, I mean, happiness is ultimately the measure of success, in my opinion, but money really helps to get that. You don't need money to be happy, but money can help you on the path toward whatever makes you happy, that's for sure. I would say that happiness is more important than money, though, so I'm going to go with that. Have you ever broken the law? Law is a meaningless word, man's law or natural law. Doesn't anyone at one point or another, whether they mean to or not? Yes, but it was justified, or no, never. I'm going to go with doesn't everyone at one point or another, whether they mean to or not. I have. I know I have. I've never had a run-in with the police. I've never been arrested. Never been to jail. But I know that I've broken the law. I don't do it routinely. I don't make a habit of it. But yeah, I've been there. Let's pretend you're getting married. What would your wedding be like? It would be a big traditional church wedding. It would be a small outdoor ceremony. It would be a simple legal ceremony in a courthouse. It would be a legal ceremony performed by an Elvis impersonator in Las Vegas. I don't believe in the institution of marriage. I mean, not a big sucker for the traditional church wedding. Small outdoor ceremonies kind of appealing. I want it to be a little more special than a courthouse. I'm going to go with legal ceremony performed by an Elvis impersonator in Las Vegas. I mean, that's not necessarily what I want, but if I'm going to get married, I want to do something different, something out of the ordinary. The Elvis impersonator thing has obviously been done, but it's still different. It's more, I want something with a little pizzazz. Are you more of a flower child or a punk rocker? I'm going to go with flower child. I mean, I've never really been much of a punk. I've always been more of kind of a hippie sort of person. I've done enough drugs to be a flower child. Not that I've done a lot of drugs, but enough that I'm more of a flower child than a punk, that's for sure. Do you believe in survival of the fittest or all for one and one for all? All for one and one for all. I'm trying to make the world a better place for everyone, not just me. Do you consider yourself religious? Yes, no, or I consider myself spiritual but not religious. I know it's a cliche, but I'm gonna go with spiritual but not religious. Would you stand up and fight against injustice? Absolutely, I do it all the time. Yes, if I feel strong enough about a cause. No, not really, I prefer to keep a low profile. If I feel strongly enough about the cause. I've protested, I've marched, but I don't do it for every little thing. Which of these philosophical quotes best represents your ideology? If you would be a seeker after truth, it is necessary that at least once in your life you doubt, as far as possible, all things. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. If we don't believe in freedom of expression for all people, for people we despise, we don't believe in it at all. Don't gamble on the future. Act now without delay. Gosh, I mean, again, this is another one where they all apply to some degree. But I would go with, I'm going to go with if we don't believe in freedom of expression for people we despise, we don't believe in it at all. I raised money for the ACLU over the summer, and we got a lot of shit for defending the Nazis. The ACLU has defended the Nazis. What we were defending was their right to free speech and assembly. We weren't defending what they said. We were defending their right to say it. And this was all before Charlottesville. After Charlottesville, we started to distance ourselves from them. We said that we're not going to defend you if you're going to bring guns to your rallies. So yeah, freedom of speech and expression. Which famous artist do you most admire? Michelangelo, Rembrandt, Picasso, Warhol, Kandinsky, or Da Vinci? I am going to go with Da Vinci because he wasn't just an artist. He was also an inventor. He was an engineer. He was the Nikola Tesla of the Renaissance period. Congratulations, you're halfway through. Yay, a silly question to celebrate. Who or why is Immanuel Kant famous? He is a Brazilian soccer player. He is a political activist he was a political activist during the Spanish Civil War. He was a German philosopher, or she is a Ukrainian movie star. German philosopher, yeah. That's sort of a silly question. I don't know what that has to do with my personality, but whatever. Which side of the political spectrum are you on? I am left-wing, I'm right-wing, I'm centrist, my political views defy labeling. I do not allow myself to be distracted by partisan politics. Left-wing, for sure. What is most important to you? Physical health, spiritual health, mental health, all of the above, or none of the above? All of the above, please, if I have the option of picking that. I mean, you can't really neglect the others. Which quote from a fictional character do you agree with the most? Do you know the oldest lie in America, Senator? That it's that power can be innocent. Lex Luthor. Women may fall when there's no strength in men. Romeo Montague. I will not say, do not weep, for not all tears are evil. Gandalf. Sometimes there is no happy choice, only one that is less grievous than the others. Jon Snow. You can claim that anything is real if the only basis for believing in it is that nobody has proven it doesn't exist. Well, that just sounds like a bad reason for believing in God. Most of these are just depressing. I'm gonna go with I will not say do not weep, for not all tears are evil, because I agree with that. and it's the least depressing in the bunch. Which revolution would you have fought for? I would have fought for the American Revolution, French Revolution, Cuban Revolution, Chinese Revolution, Human Rights Revolution, or I would not support any revolution. I'm gonna go with Human Rights Revolution. I mean, obviously the American Revolution is important to me. I would have fought for that too. French Revolution, I probably would have fought for that if I was French or even American. Cuban Revolution, yeah, I don't know. Not as familiar with that one. Chinese Revolution, I'm going to go with human rights. Do you have common sense? Does anyone? I mean, I'll go with yes, but I'm skeptical. Which 1960s band is most likely to appear on your playlist? The Beach Boys, The Doors, The Rolling Stones, Creedence Clearwater Revival, The Mamas and the Papas, or The Velvet Underground, or none of these? I am going to go with a little Creedence. I mean, I like all of these to some extent, but I probably most like Creedence, although there's got to be other 60s bands that I would like better. Which famous figure do you most admire? Albert Einstein, Descartes, Steve Jobs, Mother Teresa, J.R.R. Tolkien, or Russell Brand? I'm going to go with Einstein. I mean, he was super smart, and he understood the universe and a lot of things better than most people. Einstein was borderline enlightened. He understood. He got it. He was woke. Albert Einstein was woke. You're receiving an honorable degree from Harvard. Congratulations. What subject is it in? Physics, communications, anthropology, mathematics, law, history, or philosophy? Well, gosh, I would be interested in all of these. If I could have a degree in every one, I would totally do that. But I think I'm going to go with philosophy. Anthropology is a close second. Like, I could rank these. Philosophy is first, anthropology is second, mathematics, physics, philosophy. Where would you rather live? China, Greece, United States of America, or France? France, please. Don't get me wrong, I like my United States, but I also like universal healthcare. Are you more of a warrior or a politician? Well, honestly, I'm more of a politician. I would rather be a warrior, I suppose, but honestly, it's politician. Which 17th century crime would you be most likely to be accused of? I'd be accused of seditious libel. I'd be accused of conspiracy. I'd be accused of witchcraft. I'd be accused of insurrection. I'd be accused of spying. I would very likely be arrested. I would be very unlikely to be arrested for any crime. Well, I mean, if you're talking about sending me back through time, knowing what I know now, I would probably go down for witchcraft. I would know things that other people don't know, and I would have an advantage over them, and eventually I would be able to do things that they didn't know how to do, and eventually they would accuse me of witchcraft. That's how I see it happening. Seditious libel, by the way, is my favorite Southwest bluegrass trio. You walk in on your partner in bed with someone else, what do you do? I join them, I pull out my weapon, I burst into tears, I leave without them noticing. I cough politely to attract their attention and then question the reasons for their deception. It would never happen, I trust my partner completely. It would never happen, I don't have a partner. I'd probably be a combination of angry and upset, so, I mean, pull out my weapon seems a little extreme, but, you know, just yelling what the fuck is probably the most likely option. Burst into tears, I guess, would be close. That'd be one thing, maybe. Crying as I scream at them. Let's see, I cough politely. It would never happen. It would never happen. I'm gonna go with it would never happen. I don't have a partner. Let's be honest. The sign says keep on the path, but it's way shorter to cut across the grass. What do you do? I stay on the path, I walk across the grass, I look around to see if anyone's looking, and I quickly run across the grass. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I would look around and see if anyone was looking and then cut across the grass. And now the last question. Let's see if we can get this right. What philosophical style do you think you follow? Epistemology, the study of knowledge. Metaphysics, the study of what constitutes reality. Ethics, the study of moral values. Logic, the study of reasoning. Aesthetics, the study of art. Social philosophy or political philosophy? Well, I mean, political philosophy is definitely, again, I'm interested in all of these things. Political philosophy is what I do on this channel, I guess, kind of. Social philosophy is, I mean, I'm definitely interested in human behavior and the way people are, as a whole, not just on the individual level. Ethics, the study of art. I mean, that's obviously what I do kind of in my spare time. Logic, yeah, interested in logic. Ethics, yeah, I mean, all of these. Study of metaphysics, the study of what constitutes reality. I'm very interested in that. Study of knowledge, hard to choose. I'm gonna go with social philosophy. Again, all of these apply. I'm interested in every one of them, but social philosophy has got to be the number one. There's a lot of everything else is a close second. Your mind works like the philosopher Aristotle. Really? I always thought of myself as more of a Platonist. Greek philosopher Aristotle is famous for formulating the theories that form the basis of modern philosophical thought. Like Aristotle, you have an inquisitive and active mind and enjoy a wide range of interests. You can be extremely practical and logical, but also love to consider more existential lines of thought, such as what is a friend, or how does my mind work? Creative and inspirational, your original ideas often influence others, and you enjoy teaching others and are happy to step into the role of a leader. Well, that's going to be very interesting to one of the guys at the philosophy meetup that I go to. He is a big Aristotelian. You can hardly keep him from bringing up Aristotle in just about everything we talk about. So, interesting. All right, again, I want to hear your answers to these questions and the reasoning behind them, and what kind of philosopher you are if you care to take the time to take the quiz. Thank you very much for joining me for this conversation. Thank you very much for joining me for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit that like button. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I would love to have you subscribe and join me for future conversations, and check out my previous videos for more. If you're already a subscriber, I appreciate your ongoing support. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining me, everyone. See you next time.